Okay, imagine this. It's 2 a.m., you're under your blanket, completely invested in a wacky story about a cult billionaire CEO mafia alpha who suddenly falls in love with an ordinary coworker. Or maybe you're watching a Korean dramas where the main couple is standing in the rain while romantic music plays in the background. Or maybe somewhere between Disney fairy tales, TikTok relationship edits, romance movies, and social media couples who always looks happy. And honestly, maybe that's why some people expect their relationship to feel like happily ever after movies 24/7. But the more we compare real relationships to these fantasies, the more disappointed we become when love looks human instead of flawless. That's why today, I, Maulidia Permata Umagabi, want to argue that the perception of perfect love is slowly destroying true love itself. Because society creates unrealistic expectations, encourages people to reject imperfection, and prevents people from appreciating the vulnerability and growth that makes love genuine. First, society creates unrealistic expectations of love. Social media, romance movies, and fictional stories constantly portrays love as perfect. Couple always look happy, communication is magically solved in 5 minutes, and nobody ever seems emotionally exhausted. Meanwhile, in real life, sometimes people reply with only this day when they're upset. When people constantly consume unrealistic romance, they begin expecting real relationship to feel perfect every day. As Alex Yeandle describes, this creates an impossible illusions of love. But real love is not always aesthetic dates and romantic confession scenes. Sometimes love looks like misunderstandings, awkward conversations, and choosing to stay during difficult moments. The second one is the obsession with perfection damage authentic relationship. When people expect love to remain perfect forever, they become less accepting of flaws and change. The moment a relationship becomes difficult, people immediately think something is wrong. But relationships are not phones when they're charged. You cannot expect them to stay at 100% battery all the time. For example, many fans were disappointed when Dylan did not end up with Milia because society expects love story to always have perfect endings. However, the story actually reflects the reality. People change and relationships naturally evolve over time. And social media also worsen this problem because people constantly compare their relationship to curated online couples who appear permanently happy and flawless. Finally, true love exists through imperfection, vulnerability, growth, and meaningful human connection. Quote from Alex Yeandle: nobody, absolutely nobody, is perfect. True love is not about finding flawless soulmate. Instead, it is about mutual growth, emotional support, and meaningful connection between imperfect people. That is why many people continue to admire the love story between B.J. Habibie and Hasri Ainun Besari. Their relationship was not flawless, but it was built through loyalty, sacrifice, and genuine support. That is the kind of love that actually lasts, not the kind of love that only looks perfect online, but the love that survives difficult days and personal growth. In conclusion, society's obsession with perfect love has created unrealistic expectations that damage authentic relationship and distort the true meaning of love itself. The problem is not that real love is failing. The problem is that our expectations of love have become too fictional. So instead of chasing unrealistic fairy tales, we should learn to appreciate relationships that are honest, supportive, imperfect, and real. As Khalil Gibran once wrote, in friendship or in love, the two side by side raise hands together to find what one cannot reach alone. And so true love for me is not about finding perfections in another person, but it's about supporting one another through the imperfections of being human. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.